You're watching W.Media and I'm Deborah Gray. We are coming to you from Mumbai CDC, which is the Mumbai Cloud and Data Center Convention and Awards 2023. Joining me now is an industry veteran and engineering expert, someone who is respected across the board in the Indian data center industry, Mr. N.K Jain. So thank you so much for joining us. So why don't we begin with you sharing with us your overview of how you have seen the Indian data center industry grow and evolve over a period of time.
Indian data center industry actually has its roots as early as 25 years ago. It started at the turn of the last century, and I was involved with data centers as early as 2000, but the major impetus came in around 2014 or 15 when hyperscalers started moving to India, and since then it has grown leaps and bounds. We did the first mega data center or a hyperscale data center in 2014, and then since then we have been doing and we have been designing many data centers. It has been about 10 years, and these 10 years have seen more than 20 hyperscale data centers being installed in India, and today's overall capacity, the large percentage of that capacity has developed in last 10 years, and I see in the next 5 years, at least next year, and further next 5 years to 10 years, it's going to double and triple, and thereafter it's going to sort of plateau.
So from the point of view of engineering and design, how do you view Indian data centers? Are they intelligently designed, especially also from the perspective of sustainability, safety, security? Are we designing them right?
See, designing the early stage data centers, what we can say the earlier version before, which was existing before 2015, were not so well designed. They were designed as a makeshift kind of data centers. Some were put in an existing building or an existing shade, or many of those kind of the so-called Indian Jugaad arrangements were there. But since then, the new breed of hyperscale data centers are being designed by various organizations in a very, very meticulous way with respect to sustainability, with respect to optimization, with respect to safety, with respect to even modularization and repeatability. So from those points of view, today's data centers which are being designed in the present era are much more sustainable, much more intelligent than what they used to be. And if you talk about the level of technology or the level of monitoring and the level of artificial intelligence being used, that is also quite huge, because every piece of equipment in the modern data centers is completely being monitored 24/7, and some of them are being controlled autonomously. So I would say the present design is quite intelligent from all points of view, including sustainability.
So it's intelligent, it's resilient, and it's sustainable.
See, the quality improvement can come only if you do things repeatedly. What you have done earlier once or twice, third time when you do, you would certainly do much better than what you did earlier. So therefore, whether it is data center or any other industry, the standardization of design, standardization of implementation is very, very important. So this quality change or the improvement in quality starts from the design stage. On the drawing board itself, there has to be complete standardization of things, that okay, if this is your electrical module or this is your cooling module or this is your data center, one must strive and progress towards standardization. Data centers are not some architectural marvel or some creative thing so that every time you must do something new. What you have done earlier must be improved and redone, and perhaps if it was very good, there is no harm in repeating it. So basically a standardization process has to step in right from the design, execution, implementation, and even during the sustainability and operation. So yes, but it is a little difficult thing to achieve across organizations, because there is no standard for standardization of data centers. So a standardization at least within an organization should definitely be there, so that the design is standardized, the implementation is standardized. We many times in our design we tend to standardize because not only it reduces the efforts on our part, on the execution part, on the everybody's part, but it improves the design hugely from the last what we had done yesterday. And therefore, at least in our designs, we have, for the organizations for whom we work, we have always repeated the design and improved it better. So in some of the organizations for whom we have worked 5th time, 6th time or a 7th time, we have achieved a very, very uniquely standardized model. And if that model, if they continue to repeat, they will achieve a very high quality of product at the end of the day.
So speaking of high quality, what is your assessment of the education that goes into training people to be a part of this industry? We have hundreds of engineering colleges in India, but do you think they're able to adequately train people so that they can join the cloud and data center industry? What kind of investment is required on that front?
It's a very good question, because when so much is going on in industry and so much is being developed and built, obviously the hands and the people who work behind that, the design, the implementation, the planning, operations, all of these aspects, you need skilled manpower, and that has been a major problem in India. Not only in India, abroad also, wherever, in whichever country this industry has developed, only after certain years of development, this maturity level has come in all areas of engineering and design. In India also, the same thing is true. There is a huge dearth of trained people who are designing, who are constructing, who are operating, who are planning. So here also there is a need, but this need cannot be actually taken to the college level. What I believe is that people who are graduating from the college, whether it is engineering, hardcore engineering or IT engineering or communications or whatever they are doing, is good enough. But every organization who is into data center business must take a set of people, train them for a period of 3 months to 6 months in their own data centers, and then deploy them in various fields, whether it is design, implementation, planning, organizing, whatever it is they are doing. But a training period is a must, as against the present trend that you pick up some people from the field, maybe they are in on LinkedIn or something, you pick up and directly put them on the job. Well, it's okay if you have picked up a person with a lot of past experience, but it always pays in the long run to take fresh people and train them and then put them in your organization, who will become the pillars of the organization in future.
Perfect. Finally, sir, you are one of our honored guests. You are one of our speakers. What has been your experience so far attending W.Media CDC, and what excites you the most? What excites you the most?
Well, I have been attending, I think, 3rd or 4th event, and it has been a great experience for me, a networking experience, first of all, for which it is meant to be. I have met some people who I have never met in last 20 years, but I know them, they know me. So there have been incidents like this. There cannot be better, events other than this. This year's event appears to be a mega event to me. It's completely chock-a-block, and there is not a place to stand. What can be better than this? When people are flocking to these events, they are trying to connect with each other, they are discussing business, they are discussing their old time, they are discussing their old relationship. Nothing better than this.
Thank you so much for joining us and talking to us today. Many more exclusive interviews, we will be conducting them throughout the day here at Mumbai CDC, so stay tuned. In the meantime, in Mumbai, I'm Deborah.